Hello and welcome to All Things Podcast, the show that puts viewers first. I'm your host, Isaac, and Jamie is still unfortunately not here with us once again, due to him being away on holidays. But we have some big news regarding Jamie when he's back, so make sure you do stay tuned for that. Anyway, you're listening to All Things Podcast, and my name is Isaac. So wow, it's been about 2 months or so since episode 4, since the last episode. Mainly because it was end of the year, I had so many assignments and exams due for school. But also, our microphones actually, unfortunately, just stopped working. They broke. So we had to wait a few weeks for the new ones to arrive, but they are much better though. Hopefully, the viewers, you guys, can hear the difference between these mics and the old ones. We now rocking the Blue Yeti. I do feel like these mics are much better now. We also started revamping our studio. It's starting to come along quite nice. We have a lot of junk around us though, as you know, renovating is a bit messy. We got new desks, we got new desk chairs, we got new mics, and we've actually ordered some new webcam cameras. So we'll be using Facecam very soon. But yeah, it is coming along quite good and will look fantastic when it's finished. We will post the before, during, and after shot of it on our Instagram. So make sure you are following. All our socials are linked in the description of this episode. I'm proud of where we've come with it though. It's looking good. And yeah, I'm actually proud of where I've come with this podcast. But enough waffling about myself and the studio and stuff. Let's get to the juicy information. A lot has happened since the last episode, particularly with boxing. There's been 5 major events for me. The first one being Tim Tszyu versus Takashi Inoue. Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter. George Kambosos Jr. versus Teofimo Lopez. Joel Camarelli versus, now I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong, but Christina Madalaya. I'm sorry if I pronounce that wrong. Marco Zarafa versus Sylvain Nawe. And Jake Paul versus Tyson Fury's younger brother, Tommy Fury. But wait, no. It was Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley 2, the rematch. Tommy Fury, for whatever reason, pulled out of the fight. I don't know why. I think he got injured or something, but I don't know. But yeah, it was Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, the rematch. But no, it's been a good few months for boxing. Costa Tszyu's son, Tim Tszyu, fought Japanese boxer Takashi Inoue on the 17th of November for the WBO Asia Pacific Super Welter title and the WBO Global Super Welter title. Thankfully, Australian-Russian boxer Tim Tszyu came away with the victory, winning by unanimous decision. Then we had Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter on the 20th of November for the WBO World Welter title. Terence Crawford came away with the victory after Porter's corner threw in the towel halfway into round 10. And unfortunately, now Porter has announced his retirement. He had a stellar career though, with 31 wins, 17 by the way of knockout. Only 4 losses, 1 by knockout, which was his fight against world champion Terence Crawford, and 1 draw, which is pretty impressive. He had a great career and will go into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Australia now has a new boxing world champion after George Kambosos Jr. won by split decision against USA boxer Teofimo Lopez for the WBA, IBF, WBO, and wait, there's still one more, WBC lightweight belts. So that is awesome how Australia now have another Australian world champion after Jeff Horn, who was the last Australian world champion, who was a 2-time world champion. So yeah, it's great to see another Australian boxing world champion. We should have a few Aussie world champs very soon with Tim Tszyu going up the ranks. And Joel Camarelli was fighting, sorry to pronounce this wrong again, but Christina Madalaya on the undercard of Marco Zarafa versus Sylvain Nawe on December 20, just 6 days ago. Joel Camarelli came away with the victory, and so did Michael. I'm looking forward for the 6th of April as Marco Zarafa is fighting Isaac Hardman. I'm very excited about the fight. I'm hoping Isaac wins, but, you know, we'll see. Isaac's a good fighter. Yeah, we'll see in April. Now, on the 18th of December, Jake Paul KO'd Tyron Woodley in the 6th round. And I must say, god damn, it was a good knockout by Jake Paul. Out cold. Let's put a quick clip up on the screen now of it. It's bloody incredible.
Time to step into
Yeah, that was incredible. I watched the fight. I paid $40 or something for it, but I would say it was definitely worth it. The undercard fights were great too, not only the main event, but no, undercard undercard fights of Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. They were good. We had an Aussie boxer, Liam Parrow, who beat Jomar Alamo. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which was great. He was on the undercard. That was a great fight. It was a good day of boxing, and I must say, Jake Paul's not all of a bad boxer. Like, I must admit, yeah, he hasn't fought the best people, but I hope he does and he can prove himself. But no, it has been quite a good year for Aussie boxing and boxing all round. Now, moving on to films. Now, I know the last episode was based around films, but a lot of information has come out about upcoming films. So let's briefly touch base on some films, in particular, The Possessed, an Australian horror film by Chris Sun. John Jarrett and Lincoln Lewis were starring in this horror. My uncle, Glenn Rushton, who also trained Jeff Horn, was the producer of this film. I went and saw it with my dad about a month and a bit ago, and I must say, wow, what a horror. For an Aussie horror, it was great. It was a really great film. In my opinion, I think it was much better than all those new Hollywood horrors we see nowadays. This film is coming to the US and worldwide early 2022, but for now, if you live or in Australia right now, I would definitely recommend it. Go to the official Possessed Facebook page to see when this film is playing at your local movie theater. And this is crazy, but I recently found out that John Jarrett is somehow related to me. I don't know, apparently I'm somehow related to him through my grandma's dad's auntie's side, I think. I don't know, but that's a lot of years in relationships, but hey, I'll take it. But no, I do really recommend this movie. Before we get off the topic of films, let's do a quick run through of some upcoming releases. Now, I got a lot of films in mind right now. I'm just gonna hopefully remember the films I was looking at earlier. Late next year, Avatar 2 will be released. So many people are looking forward to this one. In a few days, Cobra Kai Season 4 will be aired on Netflix. And in like 2 or 3 days, the book of Boba Fett will be aired on Disney+. I'm very excited for that one. So is my brother. Same with Cobra Kai Season 4 on Netflix. Jurassic World 3 is coming to cinemas mid next year. Spider-Man No Way Home came out about 1 or 2 weeks ago. About one week ago. Yet to see it, but we'll definitely have to very soon. I'm probably going to go see it next week. It looks awesome. Apparently it's one of Marvel's greatest films. Like, is Marvel's best film ever. Because it came out like 10 days ago. I've been getting all the spoilers and I'm like losing my mind. I really want to go see it. Morbius is set to be released mid January next year, 2022. The Matrix actually came out today, the new one. I want to see that. I actually have not seen all the other Matrix, but it looks interesting and I'll probably watch it. Thor: Love and Thunder to come out mid next year. Doctor Strange to come out May next year. The Batman, which I'm very excited for, is coming out in the beginning of March. Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever to come out late next year. It'll be interesting to see who will play Black Panther. As Chadwick Boseman, he unfortunately passed away. Or if someone will play Black Panther, or if they'll use CGI like they did for Paul Walker and Fury 7. Who knows? The Marvels to come out sometime in 2023. Lightyear, part of the Toy Story sequel, to come out mid next year. That should be a good one. And Ant-Man and the Wasp to come out mid 2023, quite a while away, but hey, that looks pretty good. Ant-Man and the Wasp, not just Ant-Man, it's the Wasp as well, so it should be good. Black Adam, I'm excited for this one to come out mid next year, around June or July 2022. John Wick 4 to come out May next year. Mission Impossible 7 to come out late September next year. Minions: Rise of Gru to be released next year. And Fast and Furious, one of my favorite film franchises, to come out early 2023, I believe. Jesus Christ, I gotta catch my breath. Wow, that is a lot of movies to come out soon. And there's definitely more. I just can't think of them right now. But yeah, next year in 2023 and so on should be a really great year for films. So many good ones are coming out. Apparently for Fast and Furious 10 and 11, they're going to try to film in every continent. So that means they're going to come to Australia. That would be mad. I hope they do that. But no, I really can't wait for these movies to come out, for these films. A lot of good ones seem to be going out. And I cannot wait to watch them. In particular, the movies I really want to see is Fast and Furious, Black Adam, Black Panther, Lightyear, Spider-Man, the Batman, Cobra Kai, Book of Boba Fett. Those ones coming out soon. But yeah, the next few years of films and TV shows should be great. Now, I know a lot of people are sick of hearing about COVID. So am I, but this is big. Very big. Anastasia Palaszczuk, the Queensland Premier, opened the Queensland border on the borders on the 13th of December, and Queensland have been getting a record number of COVID cases with the new variant Omicron. We are getting over 800 cases now in Australia. Not Australia, in Queensland. In Australia, Jesus, we're getting like 8,000. New South Wales, let alone, just getting 5,000 to 6,000 a day. The New South Wales Premier expects everyone in the state will be affected by the Omicron variant at some stage. Victoria's numbers have thankfully dropped from 2,108 to 1,608, which is still not good, but it's better. The ACT has recorded 71 new cases of COVID. This is down on yesterday's COVID cases of 142. 75% of the new cases in Australia are of the new variant, and Tasmania have recorded a whopping number of 44 new cases. Over 91% of Tasmanians have now been injected with both COVID-19 vaccination doses. And I don't like talking about COVID at all. It's talked about too much on the news. I know it's a pandemic and stuff, but I'm gonna leave it at that. That's a quick update. And now, this is very tragic. All of us at All Things Podcast are devastated, very devastated and shocked. December 16th, 2021, a tragedy struck the town of Hillcrest, Tasmania, Australia. A jumping castle blown 10 meters into the air, which is 32 feet, killing more than 5 young children and injuring several more. The state's premier, Peter Gutterwin, delivered a public address and described the incident as both devastating and heartbreaking. And it honestly is. I usually think it is empty-worded to say sending thoughts and prayers, but I am generally sending thoughts and prayers for those children and their families. Right before Christmas as well. Yesterday was Christmas. No, it's probably not time to say now, but happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everybody. But yesterday, those families would have had a tough day. My thoughts and compassion and genuine sympathy is with them. It's not a nice topic to talk about at the end of this episode, but we can't leave it out. It's devastating and it needs to be talked about. And there is a saying in Tibetan, tragedy should be utilized as a source of strength. No matter what sort of difficulties, how painful experience is, if we lose our hope, that's our real disaster. And that's true. We keep the children and families in our thoughts and hearts. And then, a few days after that, it also happened in China. What are the odds? Happened in 2 separate places in the world. Similar thing. Children, injured children, tragically passed away because they were just trying to have fun on a jumping castle. This is not the only heartbreaking news that has recently happened in Australia and around the world. An experienced pilot, a father and 2 children are dead after the light plane they were in plummeted into the ocean off Redcliffe, Queensland, just minutes after takeoff, according to 7 News Australia. The pilot, who died along with 3 passengers in a light plane crashed north of Brisbane, has been identified. Robert Roy Waterson took off with a 41-year-old man, his 10-year-old daughter and 9-year-old son on a joy flight around Redcliffe at about 9 a.m. on Sunday, the 19th of December, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's understood the plane experienced engine troubles shortly after takeoff and flipped while attempting to return to the landing strip. This death is being said to not be suspicious. The 4-seater, single-engine aircraft crashed into water in Scarborough, a coastal suburb of Redcliffe, located northwest of Brisbane. After departing the Redcliffe Aerodrome, more young lives lost. That's just heartbreaking to hear that children passed when they could have had their whole lives ahead of them. You don't know what they could have accomplished, and it really makes me be more grateful to be here today. Everyone is lucky to be here today. You never know what is going to happen. And it really is not fair, and it is heartbreaking for this to happen to young children and their families. As I said earlier, I feel as it is empty words to say sending thoughts and prayers, but I really am sending those thoughts and prayers. And well, that is that. Merry Christmas to you all. 26th of December right now, 2021. And Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, everybody. I really hope 2022 is a better year than the last 2 years. 2021 and 2020 it's been a weird year. It's been awkward. It's been annoying. Haven't been able to go places because of COVID. So hopefully it all settles down. Hopefully more freedom is worshipped upon us in 2022. Can't believe we're already nearly in 2022 this year. It's gone very quick. But yeah, thank you for listening to episode 5. Now that the studio is nearly done, microphone, new mics, everything, we will, us at All Things Podcast will be trying to release at least 3 episodes a week. It depends if the co-host and the host, being me, are on holidays. Otherwise, we'll have like a guest to take over for a week or two. But I will be back for episode 6. Probably sometime in the next 3 days, and then if I do go away, it will be Jamie to do it, or another member of All Things Podcast. But no, thank you to everyone for listening to All Things Podcast. This is episode 5. I am your host, Isaac, hopefully with Jamie for the next episode, or sometime soon, as we have some massive information about him. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But wow, what an episode. Last lot of topics. We're not joyful topics. Gave you tears, but hey, it's for those kids and their families. But no, all those films I talked about, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to watch them. The boxing, great year of boxing. And remember, this is a viewer interactive podcast. So, whatever you want us to talk about, send us a DM on any of our socials. They're all linked in the description of this episode. Or just give us a comment on YouTube. But thank you for listening. And I'll be back for episode 6 sometime very soon. Thanks everybody, and take care.